Ladies and gents, welcome to this Overprime video, where I, DirtyHotte myself, will go over all the Overprime heroes we have seen so far during the closed beta. I will showcase their abilities, their ultimate, maybe have some tips and combos depending on the hero, and to wrap every hero up, I will level up all the skills and the ultimate, so you see how those scale. And because there are a lot of Overprime heroes, I make that video easier for you, and I added timestamps for every hero so you can jump right to the one you're interested in, or the ones you're interested in, and see the one you want to see in an instant. And with that little introduction, let's dive right into the content. And we will start that video right off with Scud, one of the ranger class. So here's his Q, breaking rocket launches, pretty short range. Then his regular attack is shooting his gun. And we have, on the right click, a short range shotgun burst. One of the signature moves he does, or signature skills, is his E, where he basically settles down and then he has unlimited range with a lopping grenade. His ultimate is also pretty cool. It's like a snipe laser with unlimited range, which also passes through all objects in Overprime. So that's nice if somebody tries to run away and you want to finish him. So target check, commence bombardment, shock bullet, enhanced pulse bullet, and ultra precise shot as the ultimate. Just showcasing some range again before we wrap it up and head over to the next Overprime hero.
My snipe is up. I'll get him.
And right after Scud, we have Colt, another ranger in Overprime, the double pistol guy. So his regular left click is just shooting the pistols. And then Q is a grenade. His E is a movement skill, which at the same time resets the cooldown of your Q. And then we have the right click, which is a 3 bullet burst of his pistols. And then we have his ultimate, which fires high caliber bullets. Equilibrium. So burn to ashes, boost mobility, equilibrium, pump action, and no mercy. So let's level all of those up and see how they change with level. Yeah, just finishing it up before we go to our next hero. And the next hero is one of the strongest supporters in my opinion, Eira. Greetings to Ice. So there's her Q, which lays down an energy field that basically slows the enemy and makes your teammates faster. Then we have E, which is a bubble shield that protects your guys and also explodes after 3 seconds. Then we have her right click, which is a ranged shield. You can throw it on your allies. And then we have her ultimate, which applies to an ally and knockbacks and does damage to all enemies around that and gives a shield to your ally. And that is also with unlimited range across the whole map. So let's level those up. Final Judgment, Glowing Light, Faithful Vow, the ultimate, Divine Shot, and Glory of Osine. Or Osine, something like that. She also has a pretty nice combo. I think that will be showcased as well right now. That's when you combine your Q and E. If an enemy is affected by both in short succession, he will be stunned. And not only slowed, yeah, like that. So you start with your Q and then follow with your E and stun the enemy. That's pretty great if you want to save your teammates on the dual lane or on other lanes from a jungler who came unsuspected. Next up is Terrak. He's a tank. So with Q he throws a rock. Pretty long range to stun enemies. Then you have the leap on the right click. His E is smashing the ground, doing damage, and then his regular slashing attack on the left click. Now let's check his ultimate, the Liberated, where he gets healed and stronger. And the cool thing is that then his Q basically has no recharge, so you don't have to press Q and aim and then press it again, but it's instant. So just hit your Q and you will hit the target you are aiming at. Keep in mind, keep that in mind so you don't miss your stone. He can be pretty fun, and I saw some guys being pretty good with him. I am personally not a big fan of Terrak. But I think that comes down to personal preference. Okay, the leap is cool. But... and the stone. Yeah, I like the stone. Next up after Terrak is Kayla, and I think Kayla, the assassin, is the second hero that is like marked as jungler, is just much more stronger than Terrak at the moment. So her Q gives you an invis, and if you get behind the enemy, usually you should get a crit. It didn't work there, but I will showcase that later again. Then you have her E, which basically ports and hits to the enemy. Then next up should be, okay, that's a base attack, left click, and then you have the right click, which is a brand, the throwing knife, and I really love that. It has pretty good range. It's not tracking, so you have to aim it, and you should always try to combo that with her E. So have the throwing knife and go in, because then it's root, and try to kill the enemy. So to finish weak enemies off with Kayla. Quick, easy, dirty. In my opinion, Kayla is like the strongest jungler you can use right now, or you could use during the Overprime beta. So ultimate lashing right case. I mean, she looks also pretty cool. So let's level up those skills. Faded Light, Twilight Guide, Evil Vow, and Brand? Rosa Dagger. And the Brand and Twilight Guide combo, I really can recommend it. It's pretty strong. Also, just using Brand for finishing off enemies that run away. So it has very, very high range. So don't underestimate that. Okay, so with Kayla done, let's head over to Uruk. Another melee hero, a warrior. So, with his duo, whatever that is, he has his basic slash attack, left click. And he has E, that's a charge forward. His Q is smashing the ground, and in the little cone you've seen, basically every enemy that's in there is sucked close to him. And then his right click, a twin slash. Fury of the Chieftain is his ultimate, which ups your physical power and stuns hits stun enemies. Sorry. Bam. So as said, the Q basically, well, not basically, the Q pulls in enemies. That's pretty nice if you want to pull them together if you're in a team fight with your guys. So let's level up all those skills and see how they scale up. Primal Grip, Unrivaled Momentum, Fury of the Great Chieftain, Ferocity, which you can't level up because it's your base attack, and Rage, the Twin Slash. And next up is Scud, another support for the dual lane. He's also a pretty strong support. I don't know why he isn't picked more often. So his basic attack is just punching. Then you have a Q with the charge. Next up is his E, where he throws down a big shield, which basically stops all projectiles. And it's also pretty good if you want to deny the enemy team the last hits on minions. So his right click is also a shield smash, slowing down enemies. And his ultimate is basically jumping to the ground, or jumping in the air, jumping back down, and making enemies airborne. So that's a nice combo there with your Q going into the R. Pretty strong, could be a huge surprise, or can be a huge surprise for your enemies. So let's level up those skills. He's really good if you're able to like body block, have a good ADC in your dual lane, protect them, peel a little bit. And as I said, the shield is really fun and annoying if you want to deny last hits on the creeps of your enemy. Then next up is Evelyn, another ranger, a bow using hero. So on Q you have the arrow rain that also slows everybody who is hit by it. Then E, so swift arrow, so your attack speed is higher. That gets pretty strong late game when you level up with your base damage. So that's not only against enemy heroes but also against structures. Then you have focus, and the longer you focus, the higher the damage. The range is also pretty long, and it also reduces the cooldown of your E again, of your swift arrow. So a good combo is have a swift arrow with some regular auto attacks of the left click, and then finishing it with a brand, which then reduces your cooldown of the E again, and you just rotate that back and forth. So let's level up those skills, see the numbers, what changes. Rain of arrows, swift arrow, hail of arrows, arrow of justice, and focus. I guess I wanted to check the brand range there, the focus range there, but whatever. Next up is Demorius, a tank hero. And Demorius is a hero I really like. So with right click he basically charges forward. This is basic hammer attack. His E is some kind of tool that is moving enemies and doing damage. And then there's his Q, and I will showcase that. I messed it up a little bit, but everybody you kill with Q adds to your HP. So I think a minion... a minion is 1 stack of 3 HP, and an enemy hero is like 3 stacks. And I totally messed it up, so I had to make a little cut to showcase that. So if you finish them with the Q, you get Soul Steal. That's a health boost, and that basically stacks and stacks and stacks no matter if you die or something. So in the end of a game, of a round, he gets really strong, really annoying, because he can get a shit ton of HP that way. So the longer the games, the harder it's to kill Demorius, the stronger he gets up. Did I say something about his ultimate? I thought I forgot that. Unleashes a powerful blow to inflict damage and blow enemies away. Deadly Declaration. That's actually pretty fun if you can circle an enemy hero and then like blow him in the direction of your tower or in the range of your tower. That's really nasty and annoying. So use Deadly Declaration like that. It's fun. Or to bring enemies in range of your teammates. That's really fun and pretty helpful. Next up, Han, another warrior. He is fun to play, but he is a little bit weak. And yeah, I hope he gets buffed a little bit, because I like the idea how to play him. And let's go just over that with the skills. So he has a sword, slashing attack. Then he has Rumble. That's his Q, where he throws his shield, and on impact you have those little lightning stuff. You can get your sword back with left click or pressing Q again. Then you have the right click. That's basically a little lightning storm around your position. E is a passive, that is basically a lifesteal, or it is a lifesteal. Now let's see how you usually use Q. So you use Q, throw it at the enemies, and then you go into a right click, because the lightning storm happens at the location of your sword and not your location.
I feel the
so the E is just a life skill. It's a little bit, it feels a little bit weak, and that's how you use his ultimate. Throw the sword where you want to use the ultimate, and then he ports to the sword and does the bloody lightning slash. So I think the whole flow of playing Han is pretty cool, but he feels just not strong enough compared to the others. And here are his skills and abilities, his skills and his ultimate level 1 to 5. For the ultimate it's level 1 to 3. Maybe I will level the ultimate in just a second, or I forgot that for Han, I don't know. So Q, right click, get the sword back. That's pretty fun. Next up is Cosmos. caster, I think one of the most well-known heroes of Overprime. Basic attack is a weak or a standard energy burst. Then we have his well-known combat on Q. And he's one of the, if not the strongest mid laner. On E he has his port. And then on right click there's like a little black hole that sucks in enemies. That's also how you want to play mid. You want to use his right click to suck in the enemy combined with the combat. And don't wait until the right click actually works. Just combo it right click and combat instantly like that. So they have no chance to get away most of the time. His ultimate is Devour. It's not like super strong damage wise, but it has a huge area of effect that is sucking enemies in. So it's nice to finish them off if they try to flee, and it's even stronger if you have another hero with a strong ultimate or strong damage ability to combine it with your team. So the enemies can't get away. So let's level up those skills. So Summon Meteor, opens up space, that's the portal that can also be used by your teammates. Then Distortion, the miniature black hole, and Devour as his ultimate. He's really one of the, if not the strongest mid laner at the moment.
Your destruction is nigh.
Next up is Bora, another caster. And I totally underestimated her first, but she's really strong if you get the hang of her. So you have her basic attack. Then you have her Q, that's a wolf that, yeah, an energy wave that looks like a wolf, or an energy blast that looks like a wolf that goes up in a straight line, forward in a straight line, and you have to aim that. And then you have her E, that are basically wolves circling you, and whatever they hit, they drain life to yourself. And then you have her right click, that's a port, and the cool thing is you can use the port, you saw the little circle, again. Now to her ultimate, that can be super shitty or like super strong. The thing is you have to damage somebody with a skill like this, then you get Call of the Goddess one time. You can also charge that with your E, every time you hit somebody you get 1 stack, and you won't have 6 stacks of that to do the maximum damage. With your ultimate then it looks like that with the 6 wolves, and then it does really decent damage. Range is also pretty good. So here's the thing. With Phantom Dance, so let's level those skills up. So with Phantom Dance she can be really strong, and while Phantom Dance is active you can also use other skills or your basic attack. So that's really nice, and she gets pretty strong. Well, she is pretty strong. Also late game. I like her playstyle. The only thing I think it's I kind of don't like is that her basic attack is a melee, but that's it. Then we have Shade, another ranger. One of the heroes right now that is seen kind of broken, so his basic attack is the revolver shot. I will just show some stuff before I go over his right click. So you have his Q, which is basically channeling some shots on the target. And when the revolver is empty you have to reload manually, we will come to that also. Then you have his E, that's Vital Round, and now if you shoot the target it gets slowed by every bullet. So you always see that red area on your yeah, you always see the red part of your aim thing. So that's basically the last bullet that does additional damage, and that's the right click. So the right click just says how much % more damage your last bullet does to the affected target. And you can also always manually reload with your right click, but that's basically everything that does. What you want to do is really have Vital Round, empty your revolver, and then make the Q, or start the reload, then press Q, because then your reload is instant, and just rinse and repeat that. His ultimate is Abyssal Prison, which teleports you and your target to another dimension, so it's basically a one-on-one. So make sure you're stronger than him. He is pretty strong early game, late game, so he's really a pain when you play. It's really a pain if you play against a good Shade. And with this combination he's just super strong, and it's super easy to pull off with E, revolver shots, Q, revolver shots again. So that was Shade. Time for the next hero. And it is Cynthia. And I love Cynthia. She's also a caster, and in case, yeah, her regular attack, just those energy bolts, lightning bolts, and she's totally underestimated by most players because she does a shit ton of damage early game, which comes as a surprise. So Q makes an energy wave around you, but that was just an example. Then you have E, that's like this Kamehameha burning, I don't know, energy beam that slows and does damage, and then you have a right click which links you to your enemy, and that also drains, or that also damages him. And I showed it here. Here what you usually do is you link yourself with the right click, then you press Q, because then Q doesn't explode around you but around your enemy and also blinds him, and then you go into your E energy beam. The same goes for your ultimate. So you link yourself to your target and then you use your ultimate, because then it's also exploding at his location, or at the enemy's location. So link, Q, ultimate into the E, and that is immense damage, especially early game. And the blind is also pretty annoying. Oh, and if enemies are close together and you link to one and then Q, you blind all of them that are affected by the explosion. So if you never tried Cynthia, give her a go, because she's stronger than most people expect her to be. And she's really annoying. The beam also slows, as you can see here. So next up after Cynthia is Valora, a caster, another hero I would say as a mid laner. She's pretty fun to play. So her basic attack is a 3-bullet burst, which does the amount of damage 1 bullet somehow, whatever. Q is like this straight front going forward wave that also knocks your enemy in the air. And then we have this little body on E that is draining mana from people affected who are casting skills, right? Something like that. Right click is a grenade. That's also how you want to use, or that's also the combo you want to use with the wave going into the grenade, because the grenade has a pretty long, it takes a while till it explodes. So you want to make sure to hit your enemy with the Q first. The ultimate is a paralyzing shot. That's also the combo I would use, paralyzing shot, Q going into the grenade. It's not like super strong. I think if you play her, if you're alone, she is like, yeah, kind of underwhelming. If you play with somebody together, she gets stronger. If she gets help from the jungler, that's a different story. I actually like the way she plays while we see leveling the skills in the background. I actually like how she plays, but I think she could have a little laugh. With that said, have a little laugh. This is the combo, which brings us to the next hero, and that is Ulug. Ulug was brought into the beta halfway through, so he's also a supporter. I think the only real healing character, or the only one that can really heal. So basic attack. Then he has his Q that makes you all move faster, so you and your teammates. Little buff, I'd say. Then we have his E. So his E heals around him. And it's an on-off ability, okay? So keep that in mind. You can see it here. I kept it on. So the circle, everybody who's in there will get healed, but you see how it constantly drains mana. So be careful about that. Then his right click, that's throwing his boomstick, his drumstick. And it has actually a decent or crazy range. Unfortunately, it doesn't do anything else than just a little bit of damage. And his ultimate is, so it's doing damage over time. And as soon as it's finished, it explodes. I think in the total damage of what it did before, something like that. And it also slows the movement by 50% of enemies. And it does 30% of the damage it has done over the whole time, if I read that correctly here. Let's skill those, or let's level those skills up from Ulug to see what they do at max level regarding damage and cooldown. Oh, by the way, I didn't use any items for the tests, so the damage you see obviously still scales with items you might use, but I didn't use them for that. So, that was Ulug. Next up is Beatrice. An assassin. She's marked as easy, so she has 2 swords, basic attack is 1 slashing thing. So she's marked as easy, but I actually have trouble playing her. But I played, some people were really great with her, so we have the Blood Ripple. That's Q, that's a teleport that does damage at the target location, and you can press Q again to get to the point where you started the teleport again. So in and out attack. Then we have the Blood Wave that does pretty decent damage, and then we have the Whirling attack that heals, or yeah, that heals you on killing blows. Yeah. And then you have Thirst, that's her ultimate. That's like hitting one weak spot of an enemy. Has to be in target in range. So what you want to do with that is like go in with your Q, Blood Wave, ultimate, Q out if it's dangerous. Maybe even bring in another Whirlwind attack if. So let's level up her skills. As said, I fought some pretty good Beatrices, which made my life miserable. I tried her 2 times, I think, but I'm just bad with her. And I guess I just need more practice with her, to be honest. But I like her style. So that's it. Beatrice. Next up is Tao. Tao is also a warrior. Melee class, solo laner, basic slashing attack. His Q is an overshield that protects you for about for 3 seconds. Yeah, that's great. His E is a slashing attack that also slows, and his right click is a port and does damage at the target location, or at the target that is at your target location. His ultimate Strong Determination is pretty strong when you use it at the right moment. So if your enemy is low health, or in a, yeah, if he's low health, you basically also have an Execute, which should finish them off. I just had to cut the video here because I tried to showcase that at an NPC, but that didn't work. So it only seems to be working on enemy heroes. So let's level his skills up. Auspicious Spirit, that's your damage shield. Spare of Dawn. Strong Determination, the ultimate, and Great Leap, the teleport. So I've seen some Tao players who were pretty strong, pretty tough enemies, and I also saw some Tao players that were feeding like crazy. That's where I actually wanted to try the ultimate, right? And I still don't know if it worked.
You have activated the Orb Prime. Step forward.
I think I was trying it on the big guy. Yeah, I did. That's dead. So that finished him, and you see that 666. Damage number of the beast. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was Tao, which was also our last hero, our last character in that overview. I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you want to see more stuff like that, maybe Overprime, but I also do some Destiny 2, check the videos here on this end screen, or also the links in the descriptions of that video. And I hope to see you here at Mom Spaceman next time. Cheerio, DirtyHotte out.